Hi everyone, Robin here. Thanks for joining me on Poppystamps today. Well, the next big card giving holiday is approaching, and that would be Valentine's Day. So I have a great little tutorial for you showing you how I made this super cute heart balloon card. So let's get started. The die I'm using today is from Poppystamps' latest release, the Tumbled Heart Balloon Collage die. My card base will fit in a standard A10 business size envelope, and it's cut at 9 inches by 7 3/4 inches that I scored down the middle. To create my balloon, I'm using the balloon die on a piece of Neenah Solar White cut to 8.5 by 3 3/8 inches. And I'm just putting a piece of tape, running it through my die cut machine, and you can see what wonderful faux stitching outlines that balloon. I'm using Gina K's Connect glue, first time I've used it, and I'm just putting it all over the back of my balloon panel, making sure I get in between all the hearts, and I will be adhering that onto a dark pink panel that measures 8 3/4 by 3 5/8 inches. Once I have that onto my pink panel, I'm using my little brayer to go over the entire white panel to make sure it adheres nicely. Off camera, I cut the balloon die a couple of times more using a light and dark pink. I thought it just added a lot of interest to the balloon. And again, I'm using the Gina K Connect to adhere all my balloons. Once I had set that aside to dry, I lightly drew a pencil line where I thought my balloon string should go. So here I have a piece of silver cord, and I'm just going to loop it where each loop is, and then I'm going to use my tweezers to hold it in place while I add my adhesive. Did the same to my lower loop, and by having my loops pre-glued, it made it so much easier for the final placement of my cord. Once my loops had dried, I just erased my pencil mark for my string. I was ready to adhere my cord to my card. However, the first glue I chose to use did not stick well to the metallic part of the cord onto my card base. So under that heart, you'll see a bit of a boo-boo. So I decided I would use all my little extra hearts and just create some background interest and camouflage my mistake. And while I was in the process, I added some tonic shimmer pen, which I really like. I love the shimmer. It's a nice neutral silvery shimmer. So this time, to make sure it's stuck, I'm using some multi-matte medium adhesive. It always seems to work well when you have something metallic that you're attempting to attach to paper. So once my cord was finally dry, I decided I needed a little bow at the top of my string, and I just made one out of the same cord, added some multi-matte medium, and it was on to my sentiment. This is not the sentiment I thought I was going with in the beginning. Of course, I had to change my mind, but I always seem to change my mind when my panel is almost done. I don't know what we would do without stamp positioners, but I am thankful I have a few of them. And on this one, I decided I better do a test run just to be sure before I totally messed up the front of my card base. So I just stuck a piece of scratch paper in, gave it a test run, and it turned out just fine. My little sentiment is going onto a strip of black paper, and I'm going to heat emboss with some white embossing powder. I'm using Brutus Monroe's Alabaster, which is a nice fine embossing powder. I really like how it works. It seems to be quite smooth after it's been heat set. To add my panel to my card base, I'm adding a few strips of 3M foam adhesive to the back, and I'm just going to remove them. Wish I could remove them that fast in real life, and just add it to my card base. I trimmed down my small sentiment and used a thin strip of foam adhesive on the back and added it under my sending sentiment. And that completed my card. I hope you enjoyed my video showing you how to use the Tumbled Heart Balloon Collage die, which is from Poppystamps' Valentine's release. The release also includes many new dies and stamps. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.